What up? Jeff here with all my Bitcoin Renegades. And I was going to have my intro that was going to go on the live, but it didn't work out right. So I wasn't able to show you guys my cool new intro that I have for my live or my upload videos. So we didn't have that on tonight. But go check out my open chat video that I just did that shows how to transfer ICP tokens on open chat. So today we have a cool episode because the price movement of ICP is actually held strong at the level that we were hoping that it would. And it's really cool that the bulls actually defended the $5 level. Now we're going to go and look if there is a new price movement where it would go to. We have a lot of resistance now at $6. Since we failed to hold that $6 level as support, now it's going to turn into resistance for us. And that's what we faced at $10 when it turned into resistance. We got rejected from there, and that's when the $6 broke after that. So with Bitcoin dumping the way that it did, I mean, ICP held like a champ. So we have a lot of cool stuff. Thank you, ICP Maximalist, for stopping by. It's like 3 a.m, he said over there. I have been doing nothing but like watching content, like catching up on all the supernova stuff that's happening on Definity over there. So you're going to want to catch up on those videos if you missed any of them. Wow, I got nervous because ICP Maximalist came here. My heart's beating all fast, but we'll get into it right here. No worries. So I didn't think I'd get that nervous, but I guess I do. ICP is right at this $6 mark, and I'm just super in love with ICP just because of everything they're putting into the project. And when they did the Bitcoin integration and started, messing with that, that's when I really started falling in love with ICP. And we are actually right back in this big falling wedge pattern, which is great actually for the next movement we're going to have. But in all actuality, we better start thinking about getting our winter gear on, because if everything in the past is right, we are in for a very long sideways section. Now we need to establish a clear bottom in a bear market. So a lot of the times what happens is we come down and we find a bottom, then we go sideways for like 6 months or a year, and then we go down even lower before we go up. So if that happens, I see us staying stable at like $5 right now at the lowest. And then, if anything happens in the future and it's like the past, and we have a big dump, I think it might go to that golden ratio of $4. Or 380 is what it says. Let's actually look at that right now. From our bottom here at 497, and let's go. This is the daily. Hold on, let me make sure this is the daily. Yep. All right, and that golden ratio now, it sits at 214. So it's a little lower than it was even before. So $2, I mean, and that's pretty sketchy, right? So a $2 golden ratio, and that's lower even than this downward support line. So that level actually meets right there. So luckily we're already past that. So that would be a crazy level if they kind of met together. But we're also at the top of this wedge as well. So we're in kind of a weird place because we keep breaking out of this wedge over and over and then right back into it. So I would definitely want to get some indicators out here now that we've actually been at this level for a little while. We can see the moving averages start to settle down. The reason I didn't do them a lot before, in the last like several episodes I've done, I haven't really concentrated on them much, because there is a level where we're just going down and the moving averages are just going to be above us. But now that we've kind of plateaued, hopefully, these moving averages will start to be reachable again, and they're going to be relevant to where we're going to be going next. So we're going to look at the 21, the 9, and the 50, and I don't know why I said them in that order. Probably because that's the way they are right here. It's like, why did I say it like that? So anyway, the EMA 9 is always the most right in our face, kind of right there level, and that's at 609. This is going to be a massive, massive level of resistance now. I really hope we overcome this, but we might not want to shoot our guns at this level. Is it really that important to defend the $6 level right now? Or is it important to make sure that we don't go lower than, $5? So that's kind of where the whales are at. I'm not an ICP whale, so I don't know exactly how they think. I'm just speculating on, kind of what I would do if I had, like the ability to hold a level for us, But if we all get together and are like, hey, we're not going to sell at anything, well, I'm not selling anything under like, I'm probably just not selling for a while. But anything under $10, I just wouldn't sell. Those are dream level prices for me. So even higher than that too. So that's why I was gonna say I wouldn't sell anything under 10, but then I'm like, well, I don't really think I'd sell at 20 either. But especially because I'm gonna hold. I'm thinking about doing 8 years, or maybe 4. So I'm only at 2 years right now in my staking. I'm going to make a staking video that goes over a few questions that people have been asking me and just a better one. The other one was on mobile. This one's going to be on here. So, okay, let's get more into the price. I'm sorry. I get to talking and then. So as you see, look at all of this resistance right now. That was actually, somewhat support for us. We got above that just briefly there. We've kind of been struggling with these moving averages ever since we've been falling, but it's been a nonstop fall. So we have to kind of establish a bottom. And you see, when I said this is what I was really talking about, even if we broke below this level, sorry about that. Even if we broke below this level right here, that it would just push down. And that's what I thought was going to happen if we did kind of break below this support level. And I knew it kind of extended down here and it could even push further, right? And it did. And luckily it didn't break. So imagine it as like a rubber band. And if you push a rubber band too far out, that rubber band can snap, right? And I think we were just right on that breaking point. But a lot of altcoins didn't hold as well. If you look at the graph, I normally don't talk about the graph on this video, but I just want to kind of show you how far it fell. And I actually like the graph, but I mean, if you kind of look how far this crypto fell compared to ICP, now we're just going to look at this for a second just to make those comparisons. That's it. A dollar. Let's see, what is this right up here? Okay, that's just 55 cents. That's just recently. Okay, here, let me just do the week so I can show you farther back. So we were all the way up here at $1.32. So we've dropped a very, very long way. I never thought this would be at 10 cents the way it is. And it didn't really hold any level. That level broke down. So ICP was actually able to hold this same level. See how we broke down from that level in a more broke down way than ICP did? See how it kind of held it better? I mean, it did push it down a little bit more, but it held better than these. I know I definitely, looked into that, and it is down less percentage in the same amount of time. So now Bitcoin is at such a low level. Let's look at that real quick too, just to see, because we got to know where the market's going. This is going to be the indicator to let us know, are we going to get some relief? And I think we do need a relief bounce, because that's normally what happens at these levels. We just hit them and we hit them strong. But we hit the previous all-time high on Bitcoin. So all of that pressure. So it's like this. Imagine a magnet pulling, the price down to the previous all-time high. That's what it does every cycle. That is notorious what Bitcoin does. I believe the 2017 all-time high went back down, 70% to the previous all-time high. And once it does that, then you can get a little bit of a relief. We went down 70%, and that's what I was saying. I was calling a bounce somewhere around, I said 20,000, somewhere around there, 20,600. And it went down to like 20,100. So I called that pretty good. And I called the $5 ICP level. I said, will the $6 support hold? But I said, we ain't going lower than 5, and I'll fight you on that. Worst case scenario, Bitcoin, keeps dumping. We go to 4. And that is the lowest that I would ever agree to it going is 4. So, yeah. All right. Now let's get into some more TA on here. So 609, 685, and 907. So the EMA 9 and the 21 are going to be a massive area of resistance, and they normally act kind of as the same resistance, I've noticed. you can sometimes break the 9, but you can't normally close it unless you break the 21 as well. That's not always the case, but I see that a lot. We get up above the 9 and then, try to inch closer and then just get rejected. So as long as we kind of just go sideways and let the market cool off, I think that's what it needs. We don't need any more big, massive movements. So I was saying the next massive move, honestly, I think we need the opposite of that. I wanted to say, yeah, we could, if we break 6, I was really trying to think of something positive to say we could go up to 8, because 8 is our next massive level of resistance. If you wanted to know, so we're going to have massive resistance at 6, right around here. We're going to have massive resistance right around 8 as well, because those were our previous support levels. And previous support, when you break that level, becomes a very, very recognizable resistance point. So we do have this falling wedge still, though. So there is still hope on the horizon. But what I think is going to happen with this is we're just going to go sideways and break out with no volume or little volume. And then we're just going to kind of end up going sideways for a while. I don't see a big breakout, even up to this $9 right now. I mean, if Bitcoin keeps going up, though, that is the only if. If Bitcoin does keep going up to like 25, 28, yeah, we could see some relief on altcoins finally. That would be nice to see relief, because we haven't had a relief in a long time. So it's time for a little bit of relief off of all of this, even if we are still in a bear market. So, all right, now let's get the RSI out here, and let's get the Bollinger Band and the volume actuated price as well, so we can get an idea of how much volume compared to how much ICP is being sold with that one. With the RSI, we can kind of see how over or undersold we are, and then the Bollinger will see if we're getting squeezed right now or not. So we had the squeeze right there, and look what happens. Now we're starting to open up, and that's a good thing, especially when we start to reach this moving average right here. But look at it; it's right at that $6 area, actually like 6.50 still, but that's going to be a massive area of resistance. If we break that and turn that into support, that would give us a little bit of leeway. And I think we need a little bit of leeway right now, but are we going to really fight for this area? I say we take it if we can. Take it if we can. Don't put too much, because I think they need to save some ammo just in case it does go down. But if we can just break out of this, kind of on our own, and that would be kind of great. I don't see anything saying that's going to happen. Let's look at the smaller time frames. But let's actually see what the VWAP is saying. So 594, and we're at 593. Oh, we're at 594. We're right there. So we're right on par with what we should be doing. We did break down from this right here, but that's to be expected, after everything we just, went through. We're at a big area of resistance right now. So this is what we're going to be facing. This is what I thought I was going to see everywhere. Big areas where we're touching the line. We're getting right up there to the point for a breakout. So, but it's holding, though. That's the thing I was telling you. These level of resistance are massive. So I have hope. I really do. So now I want to point out something that ICP Maximalist said. He was talking about holding at all these levels. What I really like to talk about on my channel is not just dollar cost averaging, because people hear that and they're just like, yeah, whatever. But buying at these levels. So let's say I bought my first ICP over here. I'm just going to, say third right here. Let's see. There was a dip right here. I decided to buy the dip. We just had a pump. It was doing okay. I'm buying this dip right here. Let's just say I bought it at $30. Well, we pump. I didn't want to sell at 36 because I believe in ICP. I think it would go higher, right? And then we have this dump. Well, I'm not just going to abandon my trade here and sell at a loss, especially I still believe in the crypto, right? So what I would do is I would pick a level where I think we're having, a dip, which would probably be, this would probably be the next level that I would feel comfortable buying, would have been right here. It's easy to see after the fact, right? But so let's just say I would buy right here. Well, now I'm buying at $19. So when I first got in, it was at 30. Now I'm basically getting a third of that price off. So now I'm taking it. Let's say I bought the same amount here as here, because I didn't know I thought it was going to pump, right, and then it dumped. So, anyways, now instead of my average price being $30, it's going to be 25 because I bought at 30, and then I bought the same amount at 20. So the average price is now 25. Look, so you only have to get up to here now instead of all the way up here. And then if you follow that same model all the way down, you can actually make it so where you never lose money in crypto if you do it the right way. If you're that's why they say dollar cost average, because now you're buying at $7, $6, $6. Oh, it went down to $5. We can buy more. And then what did he say? When it goes down to 470, gotta buy order in. 425, gotta buy order in. So on and so forth. And that is how you get a $30 average. I mean, and if you're buying enough down here at 6, you could get your average down to like $8. Like if you do it enough at these levels. So you bought in at $30 originally, lost money, and then all you did is wait, dollar cost average in at the dips. I'm not saying just throw your money. Yeah, wait till it goes way up and throw it. No, I'm not saying that. So just wait for a dip and then put more money in at a lower level where you think it's a dip. Play the game, and that way you don't fight the market. You're not like, okay, the market's going to go up and up and up and up. Well, let's be realistic. How do we accumulate over a long term? Not everybody's a millionaire and can just buy a million at this price anyway, right? At $30. So most people are going to put, a chunk here and a chunk there. And I actually, not financial advice, but I would like you to maybe even split that up into smaller sections, especially when when we were in a situation where we were transitioning from a bull market to a bear market. It was so uncertain. That is when you would start transitioning, into lower price frames and buying more crypto as the price goes down further. But you want to do it less and less, if it's moving big. But when we hit a sideways portion like this, and we've been really going sideways for a while, this is the best accumulation phase. And that's why I was saying anywhere from $5 to $10, you're going to be good, because if you're dollar cost averaging $5 to $10, your average is like $7.50. Just look at it that way, it's really hard to lose. I mean, it's pretty simple if you think about it. But the market, it isn't just the crypto market either. And I want to let you know, the Dow, the S&P 500, all of these major monetary markets are in some kind of way. Inflation's high. We just had a crazy world incident, a couple years ago, and we're recovering from that. And, I like this. ICP, finally a good comment over here. Bullish. Okay. Normally, yeah, if you see stuff over here on my video, never pay attention to this. It's normally like either some scam or just some FUD. So yeah, just don't pay attention to that over there. Normally I just go like this and then show project posts only. That way it would be only the project posts and we don't have to get scammed or hear no stupid stuff. It's not CoinMarketCap's fault. It's the people that post on there. So anyway, just be careful. That's all I'm saying. There's a lot of stupid scams out there with crypto. Just keep your internet identity safe. So now let's look at the smaller time frames. I'm sorry, we've been on that for a long time. I just felt like I had a lot to say, to really put in perspective what's happening, with the market. And look at that. That is beautiful. We're at the top of the Bollinger on here, and this is the 4-hour. So the daily, we're going up to touch the simple moving average. But we have, resistance at the top of the Bollinger. It doesn't look like it's opening, though. We want this to start opening up. Now, I'm not 100% sure. Let's see. How does this open up? Okay, so I guess it would open up if we start pushing this to the upside and then go down further to the downside. I guess the more oscillation you have, the more it opens up, it looks like. Okay, I'm going to have to study the Bollinger a little bit more. But anyway, yeah, we are at this kind of plateau. which is kind of good, especially in an upward trend, because that could signify my favorite pattern. And if you watch my channel, we see this all the time. Well, yeah, I don't know about this one. I was gonna say ascending triangle, but as you see, it didn't really want to do that very well. Okay. We'll see it on the 1 hour a lot better, but I see small patterns even. So that does look like a continuation pattern, as long as it kind of stays between 569 and 607. And it goes sideways, and that would be good to see a breakout. But then, of course, there's resist. This is a big area of resistance everywhere. So as you see, we're just hitting a big level, and we've already started to go down. But I think there's some support right around here as well. There is. There's like a downward trending support at this middle line. It was resistance, and then we broke above it now. So that's a good thing. And we broke above the median on the RSI as well. I'd actually like to take a look. Okay, 593 on the VWAP, which is 588 now. Okay, that's down a little bit, but that was just in a few seconds. I would like to look at the moving averages now, though, real quick. We're just going to get two of them, so I'll leave the RSI there. Let's do the 9 and the 21. I guess I could have changed that before I brought it on here. Okay. Oh, nice. We're above both of them. Great. And that's the median level. See, this is a good level. This was a big level of resistance going all the way down. Look at that. So, oh man, I mean, we've been under that for a long time. That is good. Look at that moving average. This is good news. We have not been above this. This is the most important thing, and I hope I didn't lose you guys. Cool, you're all still here. So, this is big. What I'm seeing, you see these two lines right here? This is the 21-day moving average. This is, oh, that's a simple moving. No, that's the EMA. Okay. So it is the EMA. And we broke above both of these. And it looks like we have confirmed the breakout too. So we broke above with volume. Not much volume, but on the 4 hour, I'll take it. I'll take it. And we broke above the median on the RSI. That's why I like to look at these things together, because I was just getting ready to say there might be a reversal coming, but this looks like this is the reversal from the bottom. Like we're not there yet, but this is a good sign. Don't get your hopes up too much right yet, but this is a very good sign that we could hold this level and even take back 6. That's good. Cool. Okay, so now let's actually look at the larger moving averages, and this is going to kind of tell us if we're above any of these, then we're good to go. Okay, of course, that's our resistance right here, the EMA 50. So that's why I said don't get too excited yet. We are above the first two main hurdles, which is what I was talking about on the daily. I was like, if we can get above those, but then we still are going to have to deal with other things after that, right? And now these are the other things that we'd have to deal with after that. We have this horizontal resistance right here, and which collides with the 50-day exponential moving average, which is our level of resistance right here. So once we break that, though, and if we can establish a breakout and confirm support on that, then we can start maybe celebrating a little bit of a victory. But let's not get ahead of ourselves yet, right? We haven't even confirmed this breakout with a retest of that line right here. So we can't get too cocky yet, but it's looking good. All right, now let's actually go even deeper, because I want to see if this is going to be kind of an ascending triangle. That's why I was doing it from too far back. See, when you move it up, you can see, a little bit better. So definitely an ascending triangle right here. Not the best yet. I wouldn't even, this wouldn't even confirm unless it breaks out anyway. But so far, it's looking pretty decent. Now, I do want to look at the moving averages, 558 and 577. So we're above the EMA 50 on the 1 hour. So for 50 hours, we have been above $5.58. That's what that tells me. For 50 hours, because this is the 1 hour, 50 of them, 50 hours, right? And then for 9 hours, we've been above 577. So that's good. All right. Now, we're getting oversold on the 1 hour. That's what this tells me. We got oversold right here. That's right where the resistance was, which is weird. How does the resistance end up bringing us right to the oversold? That's kind of crazy how that works. Like, that's resistance, and it took us right up to 70 almost. I mean, 69.88. That's pretty trippy. But we see, this is what I was talking about, confirmed support. Because look, when it confirms support, that's cool. Dude, I like it when things work together. I didn't even plan that. Remember, I was telling you, if we come back down and touch this line, confirm support, don't break through it, but confirm it, look what happens. A massive breakout. So that's what we're looking for on the 4 hour, on the 50, right? Let's get above that thing, confirm that support, and really, really move. So, and I'm starting to notice the moving averages correlating somewhat with the RSI as well, and how they break out. So I'm starting to get more of a read on how to judge these prices. That's how I was able to tell you all these price targets that we've hit, and how I was able to tell you the $5, how I was able to tell you the Bitcoin would go down to like 20,000, and that isn't just by me using a crystal ball. It's like all these indicators that tell me, yeah, that is the point where we would go. And so worst case scenario, I still think is like $4, 380. The golden ratio says about $2. That's because we did go down all the way to 5 now, and it pushed that golden ratio a little further down. Um, but yeah, so I think everything is looking pretty decent. We are struggling a little bit on the smaller time frames. Let's see if we've recovered from that. Nope. Okay, and we broke below. See, this is why we look at the smaller time frames. We've actually got oversold, and then see how that confirmed support and went up. Well, we broke support here on the moving average and went under it. So that's why we're facing resistance here. Now, this looks like it might W or something, double bottom and go back up, but we'll keep an eye on that. I'm not going to predict what this is going to do because I just can't do that. But we'll keep an eye on it and see if anything happens. If we do retake this $6 level, I might just do another price video tomorrow on ICP and just add an extra video for the week on it, but we'll see. All right, now I want to check the 15 real quick just to see. I normally don't like to go this far down. Okay, well, it's looking a little better as we're getting less oversold, but as you see, downtrend under that, a little bit oversold. But as long as we're in this area, so we might go down to 560 on this one. Let's see where we could go. It's going to be right around the same area. So yeah, we're probably going to go right down to about 570 if we do keep going down. Now the moving averages right here are going to be our support though. So this is where I'm going to be looking for a level to hold. 560. Okay, yeah. That's the exact level I am looking for us to hold, is right around 560. So, and $6, that's our that's our resistance. So, all right. Well, I think that's about all we have for today. Now let's get into some questions. And I want to reward you guys for coming over to my ICP chat on Open Chat, because I just did a video about it earlier, and I would really like to build a nice community over there on Open Chat. So if you guys want to join that, I will put that right here. Okay. What's up, ICP fam? I don't know anything about that. Yeah, don't see. That's why I was kind of leery on saying, oh, yeah, I'm going to sell under 10 or won't sell anything under 10. I was like, yeah, but maybe 50, 70, 100, 1,000. Where are the sell bottom? Yeah, so we can't tell the sell bottom. Is there, but what? Oh, I don't know where the sell bots. 10 minutes. I have no idea. Oh, so Shanghai stock market opens in 10 minutes. I have no idea how it affects Bitcoin and alts. So that is a good question. That makes me think, like, how do the different markets in the world affect crypto? Because it's not just, that's the cool thing about ICP. It's not just in the USA. Dude, that's a good point. Like, I don't know if that was the point you weren't really trying. I don't know if that's the point you're trying to make, but that's what it brings me to thought. Is that he's talking about the Shanghai stock market, and he's kind of questioning. That's a good question. Like, what is that going to do to affect the price of Bitcoin? He said it opened in 10 minutes, and that was. I wish they give us time on here, where they put what time they put it there. So this was probably at 6:20. If I'm thinking right, if he said 10 minutes, it's probably on that, half hour, maybe half hour. Let's see. Yeah, but that's a good point. How does the overall global market, not just the American market, because there's a thing like in USA, it kind of feels like we're the only people in the world, and that isn't how we should think. There's a big world out there, but we kind of get like narrow minded and think, our stock market's the only one, but there's a big world out there. And as he pointed out, the Shanghai stock market, who knows, the Japanese yen, my moderator was telling me was having a price a boost the other day. And I was thinking, well, what if they have like a market? Could that affect ICP? Because, ICP is a global. It's not just the United States thing. It's not like, Coinbase where it's like in San Francisco. I mean, they do have a place in San Francisco, but it's a global blockchain. And it's like the internet. Imagine ICP as an internet that went to college, and it's like a beefed up internet that does things and can control money just a lot of the way like your banks do. Basically, we are becoming our own banks. That is what crypto is doing for us. It is turning our normal wallets into our bank accounts. So all the bankless in the world are going to be able to access products, ecosystem stuff, real world NFTs. You could now buy a condo or a house on the blockchain without a bank account. Do you ever think you could buy a house without a bank account? I didn't in my lifetime. Like maybe a credit card or something, but to actually be able to buy a house without a bank and without needing like that third predatory party there, that to me is changing everything. So we have to definitely even think about, look what happened when the housing market in China went down. It affected the global market. So all the sanctions and everything, I won't talk about that stuff too much, but all of these things, the price of gas going up, inflation, all of that is definitely affecting the market. But there is a bottom. So what I like to think, if you guys dig or if you've ever driven an excavator and you've dug in the ground, there's a reason they only go like 6 feet deep or a certain level, because when you get too far into the ground, you get into harder ground, and they call it normally bedrock. And it's, like solid ground you can't get through. So that's what I like to think that we're at right now, is that solid bedrock. And what do I have to back up my claims of it being bedrock? Bitcoin was at 27,000. ICP sat at $6. Bitcoin went all the way down to 20,000. ICP did not break below $5. That was the massive area we were looking to hold, and it did. So that is my argument to say Bitcoin went to its previous all-time high. Now, some people are speculating it could go down further. There is no evidence, past nor future, that is saying that we need to go down to any lower price. We have touched our 70%. We have touched our previous all-time high. These are the macro events that I use to win in crypto. When I first got into Bitcoin, it wasn't for today. That's why I'm so good with ICP and I see the future of it. Because when I first got into Bitcoin, it was for later, because I knew the halving was like a couple months from where I was at. And I was like 18 months after the halving. The macro situation, Bitcoin pumps 18 months after the halving every time. So far, I mean, 3 times, 3 times, it's happened every time. So I'll take that risk. And before 18 months, I think it started somewhere in 2020. I was already starting to see Bitcoin go to 20K. And so when you understand the way crypto moves in cycles, there is a bottom, and it does kind of the same macro things. Now, the micro movements and what we call volatility Now, those vary, but the macro situation of the way Bitcoin moves in cycles is still intact. Until we see that break, it's intact. And I'm going to follow that because it's led me to a lot of profit. It has led me to my dream job. It's led me to working with some of the coolest people I've ever met, and all that kind of thing. So I won't bore you with all of that. I just want to let you know that I really believe with everything that I just said that we've hit a bottom. Now, that could break. Some macro situation in the world could happen and that could push it lower. But unless we have something like that happen, another crazy situation out of nowhere, I think we're going to hold. And that's the hope I give you today. Not that we're going to be moving massively up to $20, $30. I don't have that hope for you. Not yet. That'll come later down the road. But right now, I just want to give you the hope that I think the $5 is a solid level. And I can back it up with what I said there. So, all right, Mike D. AI trade bots calculating stuff. So that those can be good and bad. He's talking about AI trading bots, and like Michael Saylor's use those. So if bots are used in the right way, they're good. But like when they're used on Twitter, I recently did a giveaway, and they must think that I don't look at the posts and I'm not going to notice. But I got a bombarded Twitter thing. I've done like 30 contests, and only one of them got bombarded. So I think that's pretty good. But I recognize it right away. It got a bunch of likes and a bunch of stuff. But then I start looking into the actual uh, people on it, and they're all just accounts that all day long just retweet contests all day long, and every one of them are going to get banned. We're probably just going to do a new giveaway because when I get to 1,500 subscribers on Twitter or followers, sorry, subscribers, I'm on YouTube, but when I get to 1,500 followers on Twitter, I'm going to give away 3 ICP and 2 IC birds because I love that project. If I had more IC emojis, I love that project too. When IC Emoji Adventures is coming out, I love where they're going. I don't like the game as much right now, but where they're going, I really do. I think it's fun to play. It's just really hard. But when you get to level up your characters in a dungeon crawler game, they got me hooked. So I'm on the line. I'm just waiting for them to come out with their game. That's going to be awesome. And maybe I'll do some giveaways. Maybe I can partner with Visions. We've already talked about actually doing a video when it comes out. So that will be really cool. And I'm going to have 3 price prediction videos for you every week. We will do 1 ecosystem video. We're going to have a staking video coming out. We're going to be on Open Chat a lot too, doing giveaways. So, all right, guys, that being said, you know what time it is. Goodbye and good ICP. Bang! Ooh, sorry, I got to answer this question. I'm glad I saw that before I have to address this question real quick. Have you heard any projects that will be released once the hackathon is complete? We need the burn rate to increase. So send more messages on Open Chat. Every time you send a message, it burns. And maybe every time you make an ICP transaction. I'll have to check that out. But I'm looking for that information right now. I want to know who's winning in the hackathon. I want to know what projects are in each one. That would really help for my blog because I want to like showcase all of the projects in the Supernova Hackathon. I don't know if I can get that information, but if I can, I will have an awesome video on that. But if not, we'll have to wait until the winners are revealed and then do it that way. But let's get our hopes up. All right, guys. Bye.